Yes, people, it's me, Mr. Rena Star. I'm back with another vlog. And today's vlog, I just want to talk about the benefits of intergenerational community events. What I mean by that is I believe in social events, I believe in communities, I believe in intergenerational events. And here in London, we just had the wonderful Notting Hill Carnival, founded by the late Claudia Jones, who was an amazing African American slash Trinidadian activist, journalist, philanthropist. She was everything, but she got kicked out of America during the McCarthy period because she was a socialist, and she came to the UK and set up the West Indian Gazette. So that was like a worldly magazine. So she was editor of that. And while she was here in London on exile, she set up the Notting Hill Carnival after a black guy was murdered in Notting Hill by police brutality. So she set up this amazing carnival, and it's been going since the 1950s. The Notting Hill Carnival is a social intergenerational it basically was a show of solidarity to and pride of black people to show themselves in their full attire and go through the parade where race riots used to take place in the 50s between the skinheads and the Caribbeans and the blacks. So the carnival was a way of showing love and showing appreciation. Yeah, so it was a very, very good show of solidarity. It did what it was supposed to do. The carnival has been going straight for strength, and it's always on the bank holiday in the summer. And I went, and I've been on the 90s and I've been in 2000s. It has a great vibe, and I haven't been back since. But this year's carnival, it faced enormous attack from the right-wing racist press. The area of Notting Hill has been extremely gentrified, which means richer white people buying up properties in Notting Hill and pushing out these black people. But what's amazing is this carnival has not been gentrified despite most black people losing their homes there. And it really annoys the rich that have bought parts of London, especially Notting Hill, and they see this amazing display of black bodies following a parade and strutting their stuff in their Caribbean culture. It annoys the racists because they are obviously anti-black, and they've always tried to cancel it, and then they tried to use the whole, So leading up to the carnival, there was extreme anti-carnival propaganda. It was so bad. That's what we're all talking about. They even used, the unfortunate death of people who attended carnival and, blow it up to try and get swing, like to people's. They made it a national news, and it's just a little carnival in London. Calm down. They made it a whole. So anyway, they tried cutting funding for it. They charged an arm and a leg for the vendors who sell food. They tried all sorts of trickery and craftiness to back down this carnival and shut it down. And you know what? God made it the most hottest day in Europe on the day of carnival. He made it 33 degrees. It was hotter than Greece. It was hotter in London than it was in Greece on the day of carnival. If that's not a sign of God, I don't know what. Normally, God would not appreciate this show of vanity and things like that. But this parade, you can tell God was on the side of the carnival because the way that the event slapped, it turned all the ugly into love and unity. people's, despite the race baiting, race hates being published on the newspaper, the carnival was a show of delight, a union, exactly what it's supposed to be against the face of evil and racism. It was the best carnival since the 90s. They were, before they would try and ruin the mood by the police kettling people and turning it. They really tried to up that ante on the carnival and try to dampen the mood. But like literally parts of London had the best time of their lives and it was free. They got to enjoy culture, music, fun, community, intergenerational, like black British, because that's what it is. Carnival is now a black British staple in London, and they got to witness how great black British culture is and how defiant it is against such evil that tries to stamp out black joy. And there is no black. There is no Union Jack without black. And that's what it proved. Like all this flag waving, all this hate, all this anti in the middle of the summer. Carnival turned out fabulous. And do you know what? It was so good that the press had to shut their mouth. The next day, they were so upset that their little plan didn't work. They kept their mouth shut. They all decided all our fear mongering didn't work. And it was like 1-0 to Notting Hill because they just lost. Their desired outcome did not happen because the carnival was a success. And it just shows you right there that God let love win over hate. And what have you got to say about that? Because it was the best carnival since the 90s. And they shut their big mouth up. They shut their hateful, nasty, bad man vibes up. Yeah. They were so gutted that they kept their mouth shut the next day. And that's just what God does. He sprayed his sprinkle on the carnival and it just turned out brilliant. It was so good. Like I haven't seen London that hot. People abroad were jealous. It made loads of money. It was just, and they just, even when they tried to put their negative spin, like the brainwash people that they've been telling the residents of Notting Hill, those that own those £5 million houses, there was this one miserable looking man looking like a fool sticking his head out the window with his little programmed angry face, while everybody was winding up their waist, and he just looked so out of place, even though his body was, why was he there? Like, why was he there watching the carnival? Like, what the hell with his barricaded door? And like, get lost. All of them were all out, Stacey in her balcony was out there shaking it like she was moved by the music. She got out her Diana Princess of Wales haircut and with her sunglasses on her head, and she was shaking it. She was listening to all the tunes she listened to back in the day, and she had a blast. Okay, Carnival was just amazing. So that's all I've got to say, because it is a staple British culture, and I believe in community events, and I've actually got one to attend to tomorrow, and the mayor is coming, and so yeah, back to the topic. I believe in community events, intergenerational events. I think what happened in the carnival, there is a metaphysical, the reason why they don't want it to happen is that there is a metaphysical power when communities get together, listen to music, jam, vibe, exchange vibes, communicate, and show love. Like there is an energy. They don't want that to happen. Have you noticed what's happening in modern society? Young Gen Zs are being alienated from their parents, like they're dividing us up in age groups, like a neat little division. They don't want us to unite. They don't want us to all mix. They want us divided while they're in power. So I honestly believe that we need to be more social. That is the only way we will conquer hate.